Hey, what's up, world, and welcome to another edition of the Take One Podcast, episode 65 to be exact. I am your host, August C. Jones, and I ended up putting this out a little bit later. I was going to try to put this out Friday, but, things happen. I wasn't able to do it, so I was like, might as well just do it today. So I have a few things to talk about, really, on this episode. If you clicked on this, you already know that I'm talking about the MoviePass. Now, I put out one earlier this week about the benefits of MoviePass and talk about my experiences and one of the things that they're doing on the website. If you have MoviePass, one of the things that they're doing for it, if you using it or whatnot, and basically my theory on why I believe that they're doing it, which more than likely is the reason that they're doing it. But if you haven't, go ahead and check out episode 64 of the Take One Podcast. The link should be in the description below or at the end of this video, wherever I put it. So I have a few things to get on today, but I'm going to first start off with the MoviePass thing. Because it's something that's kind of like concerning me, but at the same time, it's not surprising. I just bit my tongue. But okay, so just let me get to the bare bones of it. So just to clear it up, MoviePass is a subscription service that allows you to watch a movie per day, just one movie per day at the movie theater for only $9.95, $10 a month, which is a great deal. So before, I believe it was a little bit more, like $30, $40, $50 or whatever, unlimited deal. And I mean, you got all the same benefits, but the price was just a little bit over. But at the same time, you can see unlimited movies and blah, blah, blah. And then when they went down to $10, a lot of questions were arise. But, everybody was like trying to get in on it and everything else. But even from the beginning, when they announced this deal, they knew that they were operating at a loss. For the simple fact that when you pay the $10 a month, you're literally just paying for one movie ticket, because the average movie ticket, at least where I'm at, and like majority of like the US, is $10. That's the majority. You might find theaters where it's a little bit cheaper, and I'm not talking about matinees or $5 Tuesdays. I'm talking about just average movie tickets, not including IMAX or 3D, but just the average movie ticket would be about $10. Some movie theaters might have a little bit lower, maybe 7, 8, 9, something or whatever, but the average is like 10, maybe a little bit over. So you're paying literally for one movie ticket, and you get to see 30 29 or 30 more movies for free, per month, which is a great deal, especially for a person like me who spends a lot of time at the movie theater per week or just per month. And that's just a great deal. But when you look at it, there's a lot of red flags, not for us because we get to enjoy everything, but just for the company, because when you think about the financial and the logistics of it, you may not know everything, but if you think logically about it, it's like you're paying $10 a month per month or whatever for this subscription service, and you get to see 30 movies, 31 movies, depending on the month, per month or whatever, a day per month. But it's like, what happens to the rest of the money? Like, I get to use this all month long, but how is the movie theater getting paid for all this stuff? So the money must be coming from MoviePass. And so if MoviePass is only getting $10 of your money, and you're going to go see, let's say, if you're not going to go see a movie per day, let's say about 2-3 movies per week, And it's like, that's a lot more money than paying $10. So MoviePass is going to have to come out and then pay off that extra. It's going to have to cover everything else and pay these movie theaters for the money that you're not paying out of your own pockets. So literally, the word that's been thrown around with MoviePass is that they're operating at a loss, meaning that they're basically losing a lot more money than they are making. They have had like 1 million more subscriptions to the service, but you gotta think how many more movies people are seeing because they have a MoviePass that they would not see if they didn't have it. Because a lot of people are not gonna bust out $10, maybe within a month span 5 or 6 times, or maybe even more, to see the newer movies or just movies that they want to see or whatever, especially not seeing a repeat viewing of a movie. You're going to find few and far in between out of like 10 people. You probably might find 1 or 2 people out of that might see a movie twice in theaters. And that's not including the matinee or just, $5 Tuesdays, but just, if they want to go to the movies Thursday, no, let's say just Wednesday afternoon or something like, or Wednesday evening, where it's $10. And they've already seen it Friday before. You're not going to find too many people that's going to do it unless they really love the film. A lot of people are just going to maybe go when it's a movie that they really want to see, or somebody's paying for them, or they're just going to watch it online, or wait till it comes out and watch it on Netflix, or get it at Redbox or Family Video or whatever. So it's like they're losing a lot of money. But for us, it's like we can go in, and basically see as many movies as we can. And in my mind frame, it's like, yeah, I know that they're operating a loss. This is not going to last forever. So let me get it while the getting is good. So I have been using it a hell of a lot. And like I've said up in my thing, and I'm not going to give too much of away. You go check it out, my whole experience and everything else. But I love the service. I've used it ever since, I say, October of last year. So yeah, it's a great service. But let's get to what we're getting to, because I was kind of veering off track. I like to talk about stuff. But so they have a new unlimited plan that's on their not unlimited plan, but hear me out. They have a new plan on their website that if you go on there, you still pay $10 a month, $9.95, but round up $10 a month. But you pay it for like 3 months. The plans go for 3 months, and you're gonna get paid. Not going to get paid, but I wish we could get paid for seeing movies. I would love that. But you're going to pay $10 all the months. But you pay all up front, I think, for that. So once you sign up, you pay the $30. And then, for the next 3 months from that day, you good. But the only thing about that is they have a new partnership with iHeartRadio, which you get a 3-month free trial of iHeartRadio, which if you are a person that, not subscribed with iHeartRadio and that's something that you wanted or something that you're into, you probably might love it. You get to, pay less to see a lot of movies per month for each month or whatever. And then you get iHeartRadio, a free 3-month trial. So, everything is all golden. But the only thing is, it's not unlimited. How the deal that I have right now with my subscription is that I pay $10 a month and I get to see 30 movies a month. If I wanted to, 30 movies a month, whatever, however long the month is, if I wanted to. And that's golden. With this plan, you only get to see 4 movies, up to 4 movies a month. And, at the core of it, it's still a great deal. If you get it. If you don't see movies that often, let's say maybe once a month, maybe 2 at the most, you're still getting a good deal. I say whether or not you use the iHeartRadio thing, it don't matter. It's like if you still get the deal and you use the MoviePass, that's 1 movie per week. If there's a new movie out per week, then you get to go ahead and use that. So, it's still a great deal. You're only paying for 1 movie, and then you get to see 3 more movies with the pass as a bonus. So, but at the same time, it's still not the unlimited deal. So it's good for average moviegoers that don't really go to movies that much. But for a person like me that tries to see as many movies as I can per year, or just per month, or whatever, it's like it kind of sucks for me. I'm still getting a great deal. Don't get me wrong. I'm still like happy about this thing or whatever. Paying, paying for basically 1 movie ticket and still getting to see like 3 extra if like that was part of my deal. But at the same time, when you look at the comparison, it's just it's kind of like you can't really compare both of them. You can't really compare them. But and right now they have it to where you can only get that deal. You can't like, I don't want the iHeartRadio deal. I want the unlimited, deal or whatever. It's like right now, literally, that's the only thing that you can get. So if you go on MoviePass.com or if you go on the app and sign up through there, the only thing that you can get right now is the iHeartRadio deal where you get to have when you basically pay for 3 months and you get 3 months free of iHeartRadio, but you only get to see up to 4 movies with the MoviePass. And like I said, it's still a great deal, but they also said that it's a limited time deal. But they did say that after that, then the $9.95 deal was going to come back, but it wasn't stating whether it's going to be unlimited like my deal is, or if it's going to be the 4 movies. And that's got me kind of worried, I have a friend and she uses MoviePass, and I told her about it, and she got kind of upset a little bit. But then after thinking about it, it's like, that's a movie per week. So it's like she don't go to the movies that much anyway. The only time that she really goes to the movie is if like a new movie comes out that she wants to see. Like this week, I don't even think this week she didn't even go to the movies. I am planning on going to the movies or whatever, but this week she didn't care to see any movies that's out. And so it really doesn't affect her, even if like say our subscriptions were put down to just 4 movies a month. But with me, it's kind of like, yeah. So that means that like I can't see the movies like if I wanted to go one per day, and just escape. Right now, my situation isn't ideal for me coming out of my own pocket for money, unless it's like the $5 Tuesday. But it just kind of sucks, I don't know. But it's like I said, I wasn't surprised about it because, like I said before, my mind frame was like, get this deal and use it as much as I can before it just disappears, before they cancel it altogether and MoviePass is shut down, or they revert back to where they were at before, where you pay $30 to $50 a month and you get to see unlimited movies, which I think more than likely that probably what they're gonna go back to. It's like probably $10 a month for like 4 movies, and then probably have different plans to where if you want to see more movies per month, you pay a little bit more, maybe $15 or $20 for like 5 or 6 movies, or and just go up to $50 to where you can see 10 movies a month and blah blah blah. So I don't know. It just, to me, it's like right now it doesn't seem like ideal to me, but overall it's still a good deal. I would say, and you get the same benefits besides the whole seeing a movie per day. You get the same benefits or whatever. As far as that goes, and it's the same way. So if you want to know how to get this MoviePass and how to use it, and the thing that I was talking about that they did new with the MoviePass, that if you do use it, and my reasons why I believe that they are doing it, go check out my the last Take One movie review. Well, wow, Take One podcast that I did, episode 64, and I explained everything, the pros and cons of it, ins and outs and everything, and just give you my personal experience with it. But yeah, if this sounds flattering to you and you still haven't decided whether or not you wanted to get the MoviePass and everything else, you might want to look into this deal. 4 movies, still a deal. But I don't know, if not, maybe wait until this offer is over and then, see if it's going back to unlimited. But you're still getting a deal nonetheless. So, with that said, let's move on to the next thing, where I'm talking about the new trailers that dropped. And it was a few trailers that dropped that I really want to get into, and as well as some TV spots. Some TV spots, some new, not even TV spots, but new clips. So I'm going to get right into that before I get into the trailers. So Avengers Infinity War is dawning upon us. And just like with Age of Ultron, they've put out a lot of clips and new TV spots revealing a little bit more than what they've had before. And the thing that I like about it is that they're giving these TV spots, but they're not really giving us too much to where it's like, I don't think they shouldn't have shown that. So the 2 TV spots, or actually is 3. Yeah, the 3 TV spots that just dropped recently was the first one was with Siri and Shuri. Siri is a totally different person. Well, not person, but Shuri from Black Panther, who's T'Challa's little sister, and they basically just brought Vision in. So more than likely, this has happened after he encounters the Black Order, and then more than likely, Scarlet Witch saves him or whatever, and so she teams up with Captain America and all them, and so they all go to Wakanda, and so Shuri is looking at Vision and I guess trying to fix whatever is wrong with him, and so she's talking with Bruce Banner, who is there. She's like saying something. This is happening. This is what's happening with him. But why haven't you tried to do such and such? I don't talk science. So she said, "How come you haven't done such and such?" And then Bruce Banner looks at her and kind of because I didn't think of it. It was like she came up with an idea that he didn't think of. So at that point, it shows that what Ryan Coogler and everybody is saying, that Shuri is smarter than even like Tony Stark. Of Tony Stark and Bruce Banner and stuff like that, and that little clip kind of shows it, because once she asked that question, Vision, he kind of looks over at Bruce Banner like he gives that face like, yeah, how come you ain't think of that? And then Bruce Banner is like, kind of like in the hot seat, like, damn. She did, like, how come I didn't think of that? It was kind of like that. So it was kind of like a entertaining type of little clip, but it's only like about 10, 12 seconds long. It's not that long, but I thought it was a really cool clip. And then we have another clip where you got Captain America, Falcon, and Black Widow all fighting the Black Order. Well, two of the members of the Black Order. I don't know their names, but it's a male and a female. And so they basically going at him, and then they end up, defeating him. Where one of them is really hurt to where he can't get up, and then the other girl, she gets hit down, but then she crawls over to him and tells him to get up, and he says that he can't. And then that's when Black Widow and Falcon and Captain America kind of line up, and Black Widow says, "We don't want to kill you, but we will." And that's the scene where she says that, and then that's the end of that, which that's not a long scene either. But then also you got another scene where Bruce Banner, more than likely, it happens right after he gets knocked down from Thor's ship, after like Thanos invades it and everything else. And so he's talking to Tony Stark while Doctor Strange and Wong is there, and he's telling him about Thanos and everything that he wants, and he's just telling him that he's somebody he should fear and all this stuff. And so Tony Stark, he's like leaning up on like a vase or something, and he's kind of stretching, and so Doctor Strange asked him, are you stretching on whatever it is? And then he tells him like, did you just say, gosh damn, how did that happen? It was exchange that happened between Tony Stark and Doctor Strange, and so he asked him, is he stretching on the thing? And then the cape hits Tony Stark, and then Tony Stark stops and he looks at him. He's like, I'm gonna let that one slide. And then he tells him that, like, if Thanos is after this, why don't we just put this down at the garbage disposal? And then he tells him that he can't do that. Well, Doctor Strange says that he can't do that. And then Wong tells him that, like, they couldn't do it even if they tried. It's real powerful. And so that gives more of a glimpse into like more of what they're working with, and like Tony Stark he's like having more of an understanding. But that's like the scene where in the trailer where it was good cut together, where it seemed like Gamora and Tony Stark was talking to each other when he was like, tell me his name again. And then you see Gamora say Thanos. It was cut together nice, because I actually thought that was like, he met Gamora and all that stuff, but really, he was saying that to Bruce Banner, and then Bruce Banner went to explaining who Thanos is and blah, blah, blah. So all of them were actually really good clips. I enjoyed the hell out of them. I'm on a I can't wait boat when it comes to Avengers Infinity War. I'm going to be counting the days, which is not that many days. And it's like, this movie, oh my gosh, I can't even talk about it, or else I'm just going to geek myself up. So let me just go ahead and move on to the next trailer that's worth talking about. So Deadpool 2 released this final trailer, And I want to say this is one of the best trailers out of all of them. I love the slow progression from each trailer to where you were shown like a little bit, and I'm not counting the teasers, but then the trailers show a little bit of the storyline, and it show a little bit more, and then now it's showing like the X Force and everything else that's a part of this movie, and it's like, man, this is like it's gonna be a great movie. I enjoyed the first Deadpool movie, but I didn't enjoy the scenes where he wasn't Deadpool. To me, those wasn't exciting. The movie was done really well, but when he was Deadpool, it seemed like it was the most exciting and it was the most funny for me. But this movie, it seemed like this is one of the movies that I want. This is the movie that I wanted, where it's like majority of Deadpool and it's happening now and it's not back and forth and everything else. But it looks crazy, especially when he does when he says that like pump the hate brakes, Thanos. So it's like I just love that that like what's the word, self-referential, that I don't know, like just the fourth wall breaker, let me just put it like that, of him like knowing, basically calling out the MCU and everything else that's happening with them this year. And then Cable had said like called him like a sex doll or something like that, and he said, "You're so dark. Are you sure you're not from the DC universe?" And that's just like it just I love that. I love that. That was I don't even know how to explain it. I just loved the whole trailer. Just how we looked, the action and everything, just like it's gonna be good. It looked like they stepped it up quite a bit from just how the action and just the fighting up in this one, especially at the end where Cable is basically real close to him, shooting a gun, like just constantly just shooting at him, and Deadpool is literally bouncing all the bullets off of his knives because he's swinging them around so quick. And it's just, this is a movie that really looks like I'm gonna really enjoy. And I know I said really a lot, but it looks like a movie that's gonna be really entertaining, that I'm just going to sit there and just be laughing my ass off and enjoying it. If not enjoying it by laughter, I'm more than likely gonna enjoy it just by how it is. But yeah, this is a great trailer. It was a great trailer. I enjoyed the hell out of it, and now I'm really looking forward to Deadpool 2. So the next one on the docket is Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. And this was a great trailer. This is the best trailer out of all of them. Actually, yeah, I mean, it's like the Deadpool trailer. This one, I enjoyed the most recent trailer of Jurassic World. Not the first one that aired, I think it was like on a Thursday, like Monday Night Football. Oh, not Monday night. It was Thursday Night Football. That one was just trash. The first trailer for this was just trash. But this one, oh my God, I love it. I loved it. I thought that this movie was going to take place primarily on the island, but it looks like they get off the island. That's actually on land, on the U.S. land and all that stuff. And this trailer I enjoyed out of all of them. It showed a little bit more to the story, showed a little bit more to what they're doing, and that like InGen is trying to get Blue, I believe, and so they're trying to save Blue, and it's, man, this especially like, and one of the craziest scenes I liked about it, I believe it started off like this, where they're in the same containment thing as the Tyrannosaurus Rex, Bryce Dallas Howard's character and Chris Pratt's character. I forgot the names. But like they're in the same enclosure of it, like basically being transported, and so the Tyrannosaurus Rex end up waking up and trying to bite them, but they end up escaping out of there, of course. And that was like a really intense scene. Even just up in the trailer, how it was cut together, it still was intense. So I enjoyed the hell out of it. But all together, man, this trailer, it made me a little bit more excited to see Jurassic World than the other two trailers. And I definitely am trying to go see this film. It looks like I might enjoy this a little bit better than the first one, because I believe that they said that this one is going to be more of a horror film. Not necessarily a horror film, but it's going to be more suspenseful. It's more of a thriller, as more of like how the first movie was. Because if you kind of think about it, in the sense, the first movie was kind of a horror film. Just kind of. Had to drink a little bit of my water. But I think they're trying to get back to the roots of that. So ain't nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm down with it. If it's gonna make the movie better, hell, do whatever you need to do with it. If you're gonna throw some comedic parts up in there, throw some comedic parts up in there. Just as long as you make it a great film. I don't think it's gonna hit the $1 billion club like the first one did. It more than likely is because a lot of people obviously like the first movie, but I don't think it's gonna be in the top 5. I think that is reserved for Avengers: Infinity War this year. That's literally, without thinking about it, the highest grossing movie of this year, and it hasn't even came out yet. And I would be surprised if another movie grossed more than Avengers: Infinity War. But the only way I can see that happen is if Avengers: Infinity War was just flat out just garbage, which I doubt if it's going to be that way. But in any case, Jurassic World 2 or Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, this final trailer was absolutely gorgeous. I loved it. And so let's move on to the last trailer I'm going to get into, which is the Equalizer 2. So the Equalizer 2 had its first trailer, and it wasn't a teaser. It was a full-length trailer, not feature trailer. But this movie wasn't really on my radar. I mean, of course I was going to go see it because I really enjoyed the first film. But when it came down to it, I haven't seen anything from it. We're just now getting a trailer, so it was like I really couldn't put this on my top 10. But even if I did see a trailer, I don't know if I would have put it on my top 10. But this is definitely a movie that I'm looking forward to. This is it looks very crazy. It looks like they upped it from the first film. You get a sense of the story. One of his friends get killed, or a good friend of him of his ends up getting killed, and so he's trying to find out what happened and everything else. And along the way, of course, he got to beat up some people and knock some heads off. And this trailer was badass. All 3 of the trailers that I reviewed today on this podcast are all badass. This was like really crazy. It shows that Denzel still got it. I like how it starts off where a drunk girl ends up getting put into his cabin. More than likely, she probably got raped or whatever. And so he comes back and, basically just trying to, he has to equalize. He has to get vengeance for her. And so he ends up getting locked up in the room. And so, he does his signature thing where he cuts on the time, and then he goes to beat motherfuckers' asses. And then once he's done, he stops the time just to, the time to see if he can beat his time for a certain amount of people. And I believe what it is, I don't know if they set it up in the first film and why he does that, but I think of what it is that depending on how many people are in the room and everything else, he has to try and beat a certain time. Or I don't know. I guess it's just something personal. But I dig it. And then the thing that I liked about it is that the last person he come across to, he ends up about to break his fingers, and he tells him that he wants to get a 5-star rating because more than likely he's doing Lyft. And then once he said, yeah, he gonna give him a 5-star rating, he gets up in his car and he sees that he got a 5-star rating. So that was actually pretty funny. But yeah, this overall trailer was actually pretty good. I enjoyed it. This movie is on my radar now to check out this year. More than likely, I won't end up seeing it with my MoviePass. Maybe it's gonna be, I'm gonna only be able to see 4 movies that month. But in any case, this is a badass trailer, and I really enjoyed it. This is it seemed like Denzel is about to go ahead and do it again. This isn't a movie that I don't think that is gonna like bring out his skill in acting, but more than likely he gonna act his ass off, and he gonna beat motherfuckers down. That's all the way we really need, and just a good story. That's all we really need. And so with that ends the trailer review portion of this podcast. So we're gonna get to the next thing, which is I had talked about what dominated January this year. And now I'm going to talk about what dominated February. So I'm going to get into some of the movies that came out in February. And I guess you all can guess what came in at number 1. But I'm going to run down their domestic and world totals, and then I'm going to basically give you the top 5 movies that came out on top in February. So coming off at the start of the list is Winchester, which domestically it made 25 mil, and it didn't hit worldwide, which I was surprised. So it basically, its total is at 25 million. Then you have the 1517 of Paris, which domestically it made 36 million, and worldwide brings its total to 56 million. And so after that is 50 Shades Free, which this domestic total is at 100 million, which brings its world total to 368 million. Not bad, not bad, especially for a movie that I heard is horrible, but I haven't seen it, so I can't really judge. Peter Rabbit came in at domestically at 113 million, with the world total of 299 million. Black Panther domestically is 665 million, which brings its worldwide total to 1.2 billion dollars. Yeah, and so Early Man came in at domestically 8 million, which brings his world total to 48 million. Samson domestically is 4 million, and its world total is 4 million, which it didn't hit, internationally. Game Night was 67 million domestically, came out world total is 108 million. Annihilation did its domestic total with 32 million, and its world total with 32 million, which is more than likely the reason it didn't hit internationally. And ending off the list is Every Day, with domestic being at 6 million, and it didn't hit internationally, so its world total is 6 million. So that is a crazy list. Winchester was a movie that I thought was going to be better than what it was. I was fairly disappointed with how Winchester turned out. It wasn't the worst film I've seen this year, but it wasn't okay either. It had a lot of problems, and it was a totally forgettable movie, just really forgettable. The 1517 of Paris, I don't really have anything to say about that movie. I haven't seen it yet. I did kind of, I was curious to see how it was going to be, but I ended up opting out to see it. So I probably might catch it on like Redbox or whatever, VOD. 50 Shades Free, that was a movie I was contemplating whether I wanted to see it or not. I'm not a big fan of 50 Shades of Fame. I haven't read the books. And just everything I've heard about 50 Shades franchise is just bad. I heard the books, even though it was like #1, I think in like the New York Times or something like that, bestseller as a book. And then in the movies it does good, but I just heard that like on both sides, the book wasn't written that good, and then the movies aren't that good. I started to watch the first one. I stopped watching. I never finished it. The second one I didn't care to see, and the third one I didn't care to see. And it was just, I guess, it's going to make its money. There is an audience. There are people that love these movies, that love the books, that want to see this stuff. And, I mean, the more the power to them. More power to them. Peter Rabbit was a movie I really enjoyed, so I'm glad that it made the money that it did. I think I ain't going to say it should have made more money, but it made a good amount of money, so I'm not upset about the money that it made, because it made domestically 113 million. How can you hate on that? Black Panther is a movie I expected to make a lot of money. I just didn't think it was going to make the money that it did, but I'm glad that it did, because it surprised the hell out of me as well as a lot of people, and it meant a lot to a lot of people, including myself. Early Man was a movie that I'm not surprised it didn't do that well. It made its money back in more, but it just wasn't good. I didn't find it entertaining at all. Samson was a movie, it had potential to be good, but because it was low budget and the writing was just bad, and just certain stuff that counted against it, it just wasn't that good. And plus it was a I keep messing that up, faith-based film. I don't think a lot of people was really trying to see that. So, I mean, it's whatever. Game Night was a movie that I thought was okay. I didn't love it like everyone else. It made good money, but I really didn't care too much for it. I enjoyed it for what it was, but after it was like, it was in my rear view, Annihilation was a movie I was really disappointed about. Didn't really care too much for it. But, it's just, I was just disappointed about that. I was disappointed about that. It was one of the movies I was really looking forward to. And don't get me wrong, like, I did care for it. But after I saw it, I didn't care for it. It just went back in my review. And then Every Day was a movie that was curious to me, and I ended up seeing it. I ended up liking it. I did. I liked it. It had a good premise to it, and I really enjoyed it. When it come down to it, this list was, you had some movies that were good, some movies that were bad, some movies that were okay. So I mean, it was kind of a give and take with this list. But the top 5 highest grossing movies of February that ended off, and the numbers that I mentioned, I did this number like earlier this week, I believe. I adjusted it, so it probably could have, some of the numbers probably could have changed before I did this podcast. So I mean, but it probably hasn't changed too much. So I can't see Every Day jumping from 6 million to 15 million or anything like that, or 50 Shades being at 100 million domestically jumping to 160 million. If anything, it probably jumped like a few hundred or maybe 1 million more. So, it's whatever. But the top 5 highest grossing ones, coming in at number 5 is the 1517 to Paris, which I was surprised because I heard that this movie wasn't that good, the acting, because it uses the real people that actually were involved in the event to play themselves in the movie. I heard that it wasn't that good, but obviously it did good enough out of all the other films that came out. Number 4 is Game Night, which I'm not surprised it would be in the top 5 because, like I said, I did find some enjoyment out of it, but once I left the theater, and then you have Peter Rabbit after that. Wasn't surprised because that was a good-ass movie. 50 Shades Free, wasn't surprised there was an audience after it. But after seeing the pre-sales for Black Panther, I knew this movie was just going to dominate. I knew this movie was going to freaking dominate. Gotta drink some more water. But, yeah, this is actually a pretty, like, weird, like, just list. Out of this, I maybe thought Annihilation would probably be in the top 5. Looking at the list, I thought Winchester would probably be in the top 5, but those are not, and it's just crazy to look at. But I mean, to see that Black Panther is at the top is crazy. But I'm just happy that it did what it did. So just to run it down again, you got number 5. This is the 1517 of Paris. Then you number 4. Game Night, number 3, Peter Rabbit, number 2, 50 Shades Free, and number 1 is Black Panther. So those are your highest grossers of 2018's February month. And yeah, I mean, I guess you could say it's not odd to say that, Black Panther ended up being the highest grossing movie in February, which is Black History Month. But, if you think about it, every month is Black History Month. But in any case, that ends this episode of the Take One Podcast, episode 65. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace out. So hey, before you guys leave this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button and give this video a like because it will really help me out. And hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And you see that little bell? That's a notification. Turn that on, that way you'll be notified for anything that drops on my channel. And if you look down in the description below, you will see all the links to my social media, so go ahead and follow me on those if you haven't already. As well as there are links to my other content that's on the channel, from movie reviews to podcasts to so much more. And I hope to see you guys here again next time. So thanks and peace out.